Well, hi there. Let's start by just relaxing any way you want. Just feel yourself in your seat, your chair, wherever you are, lying down, standing up, and just take a deep breath if that's convenient. And let it go slowly. And to the best extent you can, just simply be here right now. Well, it's Sunday. It's been a busy day so far, believe it or not. The quote for today, March 22nd, is from Thomas Kincaid. I'm sure you've heard of Thomas Kincaid. You've seen his work, I'm sure, you know. When we learn to say a deep, passionate yes to the things that really matter, then peace begins to settle onto our eyes, like golden sunlight sifting to a forest floor. And that's from someone who knew something about landscapes and scenes. So there you are. Yeah, today's reading talks about quantum entanglement, but I mean, don't let that put you off. It's you don't have to be an Einstein to figure this one out. It's relatively simple. Let's see what she has to say first of all. She being Reverend Christie Hardwick. She's called this piece "Originated from the Same Source." Originated from the same source. And the Audre Lorde quote is, "If I fail to recognize them as other faces of myself, then I am also contributing not only to each of their oppressions, but also to my own." What on earth does that mean? Well, all will be revealed. If you want the Ernest Holmes quotes, then where he talks about all the power in the universe is with you, and he encourages us to feel it and know it and act as though it were true. And then he reminds us the universe is run by an infinite mind, so our life is controlled by our thinking. And ignorance of this keeps us in bondage, and knowledge will free us. And it's written down there if you want it. So apologies for skimming through it, but if you listen to these readings every day, you've heard it 21 times before, or 20 plus anyway. And this is Reverend Christie Hardwick. She said, "We cannot have too many reminders that we are reflections of each other." I remember when I first learned about quantum entanglement. Oh my God. Well, that was a cat entangling itself with a door. A particle in one location can affect or reflect a particle in another location because they were originally of the same source. Well, if they're originally connected, they always remain connected. That's the theory there. So they can be light years apart and they're still connected. So you do something to one particle and instantly the other particle responds in like manner. And in fact, when I looked it up further, you know, the easiest way was, as I got a summary here. In short, entanglement, that's quantum entanglement, reveals that the universe at the quantum scale, quantum level, right, is deeply interconnected in ways that defy our everyday intuitions about separateness and locality. So she is saying that, yeah, just like particles are, they're entangled. Once they're entangled, they're never disentangled. That you do something to one, something else to the other. She's saying that that's the same with us, that we're really all reflections of one source. And she says that we originate from the same source. We carry within us all of the same infinite possibilities. If we harm ourselves with words or deeds, we harm others. Good reason to take care of yourself, not degrade yourself. If we send messages of hate to another, then guess what? These messages of hate are processed within us as well. If we recognize others as faces of ourselves, reflections if you like, we can begin healing what appears to divide us. This is a tough assignment, and she's not kidding when she says that. This is a tough assignment, but remember that we're all immersed in infinite mind. All that's needed is within us, making all things possible. She says, what if everyone, without exception, is the other face of myself? So, at the very least, this is telling us to be careful what you say about yourself or others, because when you say something about yourself, you impact others. When you say something about others, you impact yourself, because we're all interconnected. And our views from science about how the universe is have changed considerably in the past couple of 300 years anyway. You know, Isaac Newton believed that God, a source, a power, brought the universe into existence, and then that it kind of worked like clockwork, you know. But now we know that's not true. We know that at a quantum level, things are churning all the time, and it's not simple at all, and things are interconnected. So the basic message for anyone on a spiritual path is be extremely careful what you think and say, because what you think and say about yourself impacts others, and what you think and say about others impacts yourself in some way, shape, or form. You know, it does. And it's kind of like, you know, remember the pointed finger? You know, if I point a finger at you, then guess what? There are 3 fingers pointing back at me. So in other words, it's all a reflection. Do we understand quantum entanglement? Probably nobody on the planet really understands it, because it's just enormous. Do we understand how this impacts us? Well, to some extent, yes. But to me, it simply says, look, be careful what you think and feel, because you don't know how it's going to impact you and other people. But that means that when you think, see, I'm going to flip this around. When you think good thoughts about yourself and you think good thoughts about others, especially with feeling, then you're impacting both of you for the better. And when you impact both of you for the better, that goes out and it starts to impact the whole human race. Maybe infinitesimally to start with, but as I said, once we reach that critical mass point, then things take off. And if, like me, you believe that love is the basis for everything, then you'll know that everything ultimately will come out for the good. But at an individual level, at a human level, at a earth level, at a galactic level, at a universal level, and who knows, at a multiversal level, it will all come out. Because I truly believe through personal experience that there is a power called love, and that power really does exist, and that power is in and through and as everything, and that is the ultimate power, and it's really the only power, and everything else is just a shadow of it. So hey, that's my preaching for today. I need to get off because my colleague Reverend Lisa, who will be on tomorrow morning at 9:15, needs to use this space because she has to upload a couple of things. She has to upload the 11 o'clock service from this morning, and she has to upload onto a particular YouTube channel. I think it's onto YouTube. She has to upload a celebration of life service where people who were unable to go but wanted to see it can see it. So I need to go. So just remember love. If you remember nothing else from this whole series of readings over the past since the pandemic began, just remember this: love is the foundation and the basis for everything. So I'm a reflection of every other person and every other being. I cannot see myself as a part or separate. Why? Because we're one in spirit. And if you want more of those, they're written up there. And then tomorrow I'm going to start plugging my world religions course. If you want to know more about different religions, for instance, what do you know about Zoroastrianism? What do you know about the Avesta? What is the Avesta, for instance? All right. So what do you know about different things? So it's a great class, and I cannot claim credit because I've had to do research and get the material from other places. So it's other people's material. Sometimes it's AI, it's searching on the web, it's from books, it's from classes I've taken. It's a compilation of all of this. So I'll see you tomorrow about 5 o'clock, and Brother Wesley will see you at 9:15. And until next time, my knowingness for everyone is that we each recognize that love is the foundation of all life. And I claim this as truth, and I release it as a prayer into the divine mind, calling it done, and so it is.